Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lisa Elvin Staltari, and I'm a genealogist and a passionate traveler. Over the last 4 years, I have been featuring each fille du roi or king's daughters and getting to know their stories a little bit better. I also recently, in 2023, began the series Les Filles Mariées, the ladies who came before. But this is my original series, Les Filles du Roi. We're on episode 317. Can you believe? Like, I started at number 1. I never thought I would be doing all these. I plan on doing all of the Filles du Roi. If you have any special requests, make sure you email me or post a comment below. I look at everything, honestly. So please, and I really love being able to respond to any requests. So before we begin, let me show you ways that you can support the channel. The first 3 are subscribe, which is free, and I really appreciate all my subscribers. And like the video, that gets it out into the stratosphere, and then notify just for you so that you don't miss an episode. The next couple of ways are ways to help the channel grow. We have the YouTube memberships that begin at 99 cents all the way to $24.99, depending on where you fit in terms of your genealogical research and all of that good stuff. Also, all members get early access to all of the membership, all of the videos as soon as I post them. So if I post all of June, for example, they will have all of June available to them, and they don't have to wait for the public, the actual public publication of it. And then we have the YouTube, not the YouTube, but the PayPal button on my Have Roots Will Travel website. And we also have a really kind of special, it's a super thanks that YouTube does. So that's for each video. And if there's a video in particular that you want to leave a tip, that's what I look at it. I look at it like a tip. So if there's a video you like and you want to leave a tip for, there's also the button there that you can look at. So thank you in advance for all of you who have participated thus far. I really appreciate your support. So with that being said, let's get to know our fille du roi of this episode. Today's episode is 317, Marie Roi. She is a viewer request. I do have another Marie Roi in my files that I have not yet done, so not to be confused, this is a separate. So there were 2 filles du roi whose names were Marie Roi according to my files. So let's get to know this Marie Roi a little bit better. So Marie was born in 1647 in Fontenay-le-Comte in France. Her parents were Pierre Roy and Marie Renaud. She comes to us from the Pays de la Loire region, and inside that region, she's from the Vendée département. This area dates back to the Gauls, and during its history was captured and recaptured by the French alike. The picture of this castle tells an amazing story of this area. It is called the Château de la Terre Neuve, which means Castle of the New Land, and dates to the late 15th century. So Marie would have seen this. And it is now open to the public, which is an amazing thing. The Church of Notre Dame dates to the 13th century, but was completely rebuilt in the 15th century, which still makes it very, very old. So that is where Marie came to us from. After her parents passed away, she would leave for New France. There is no mention of a dowry. She would arrive on June 10, 1667, on La Constance de Caduc pour Québec. The groom that she selected and who selected her, his name was Mathurin Thibodeau de Lanime, and he was born in 1636 in a commune called Les Moutiers. It's a mouthful. And his parents were Mathurin Thibodeau and Marie Dolbeau. Now, he also comes to us from Pays de la Loire, and he also comes to us from the Vendée department. So did they know each other, or was it just family connect? We don't know. And just to let you know, the word moutier means monastery. And in the Middle Ages, this area hosted 2 monastic communities, both now long gone. One that disappeared in the 13th century and the other by the 18th century. At the heart of this commune stands the Church of Saint-Jacques, a Romanesque structure that dates back to the 12th century. And you can really, really begin to see the solid stone walls and the rounded arches reflect truly the architectural, style of that time. It was recognized as a historic monument way back in 1908, and the church is one of the oldest and most significant landmarks in the town. In the Renaissance era, Les Moutiers, Les Montfaits also became known for the Château de la Contaudière, which later belonged to the Duke of Sully, a trusted minister of King Henry IV. Another key structure is the town's market hall, built in 1765. It's still in use today and protected as a historic monument. The commune also witnessed turmoil during the war in the Vendée, particularly in 1794, when revolutionary forces clashed in the area. Despite all this upheaval, the town has remained and preserved its rural charm and deep, deep historical roots. And so they were married July 11, 1667, at Quebec City. Now they would settle on Ile d'Orléans, and it is located, the island of Orleans is located in the St. Lawrence River, La Rivière Saint-Laurent, for those of you who are French, east of downtown Quebec City. The island was one of the first parts of the province to be colonized by the French, and a large percentage of French Canadians can trace their ancestry to early residents of this island. The island has been described as a microcosm of traditional Quebec and as the birthplace of Francophones in North America. Officials later changed the name to Ile d'Orléans in honor of the Duke of Orleans, Henry II, who happened to be the second son of King Francis I. The island was also known before as Grande Ile, Sainte-Marie, Saint-Laurent for certain periods. And I tell you this again, so that when you are researching, if you come across that name, always remember that it probably is Ile d'Orléans. You always have to check. But these are some of the pictures I took when I went in 2023. Absolutely fell in love with the island. Want to go back, dream about it sometimes because it was so beautiful. And I didn't get to see it all, which is eternally frustrating to me. But it's so little, but yet so big. It's one of those. And you have to know that it's subdivided into different sections, 6 different sections. So you've got Sainte-Patronille, Saint-Pierre, Sainte-Famille, Saint-François, Saint-Jean, and Saint-Laurent, depending on where your family settled. Most people, early residents, would have come in on Sainte-Famille because that was the very first parish. But later on, they would move, like my family moved to Saint-François and Saint-Jean. And so that is basically what I would go and look for them at Saint-Jean, at the church there. But the Sainte-Famille parish and also the records and the museum are at Sainte-Famille, and I got kind of waylaid there and spent hours in Sainte-Famille, and then we kind of ran out of time. So yeah, note to self, there's a lot to see, Now in the 1667 census, newly married Mathurin and Marie, and they had 3 alpins, about an acre and a half to 2 acres of land. They would go on to have 3 children. Their firstborn, Claude Chen, would not survive. Then we have Marie-Joseph, who would marry Abel Michon and have 5 children, all of whom made it to adulthood. And then we have Marie-Madeleine, who marries Pierre Michaud, and they would have 7 children, 5 of whom made it to adulthood. Well, here's something we have not seen in all the 300 plus videos I've done before. In November of 1673, Marie was ordered to make a public apology in the church to a man named André Chabitou, who actually had been one of her witnesses at her marriage. She had claimed, out loud I suppose, that André had had carnal knowledge of her several years past. This was disputed by André, and she was made to pay. Again, we can wax lyrical about, what was the rules and who was telling the truth and all of that. But suffice it to say, somehow she got herself into some level of trouble, whether or not she was saying that he had, attacked her, or she was just casually mentioning it. He had some issue with it, and she had to stand there or kneel in front of him and make that apology in public to the church. It's just absolutely humiliating. Sometime after that event, in November of 1673 and to 1681, her life would come to an end. She left behind her a husband and her 2 little girls. She and Mathurin would have been married between 6 and 14 years, and she herself would be about 36 to 44 years of age, just absolutely on life cut short. She would leave us 19 descendants, which is not a lot, but they would grow and multiply, as you will soon see. And certainly, but that is her life cut short, and we will see how she is remembered. So despite the briefness of her life, she and Mathurin are listed on that monument, the one I told you that I spent so much time at that I didn't get to see the rest of the island. There is Mathurin, Thibodeau de la Lime, and Marie Roy. So she is permanently enshrined there. She was there, and that little snippet is from a book that was published with all the 300 inhabitants, the founding pioneers of that island. So this is a forever tribute to a woman who did not, stay long, but made a lasting impact. So it's always sad when they leave us in their 40s because, as you know, now that was very young, even for that period. But also she had to endure that, shameful experience of making a public apology. I don't know the context, and we don't know what exactly happened. But we do know that the morality of that time obviously did not favor women, and so we were held to a different standard. So I suspect that, and I want to assume, and I believe, that she probably was absolutely innocent of whatever they were accusing her. And if she wasn't, it was no one's business but her own. But such is the history of that time period. But we are so grateful, Marie, for your contribution, for your sacrifice, for coming to North America as early as you did, and for trying to build a life. And you left us descendants, and you left us a piece of you. So thank you so much for your sacrifice. And we bless your memory, and we are so grateful to you for your contribution. And I am so thankful for my patient supporters and subscribers. You are amazing. Thank you so much. You keep growing and letting me know what you like and don't like and that sort of thing. I really appreciate any and all comments. And remember, if there's a special fille du roi that you would like me to look for, please, please let me know. Until I see you on the next episode of Les Filles du Roi. Bye for now, and au revoir.